Today is Monday, January 29th, and it's time for the Chair's Daily Live. Happy Monday. All righty, so today is January 29th. That is important because we got a lot of things happening on today, January 29th. Today is the last day to request your absentee ballot in order to participate on January 13th. If you want to vote by absentee, today is the last day to request that ballot. And when I say today, I mean the next 38 minutes. So if you're watching me, you were thinking about requesting your absentee ballot, stop watching me. Go over to the Oklahoma State Election Board, click on the portal and request your absentee ballot. It is important that we show up. However, we need to show up every time that there is an election. So if absentee ballot is your way of choice, today is the last day to get your ballot for February 13th. On February 13th, we have some school board races, city council races, and the special election in House District 39, which is over in Edmond. And this is an opportunity for us as Democrats, to add one more Democrat to the state house. And that would be an incredible gain. It's the kind of thing that we need. We have to keep moving that needle little bit by little bit. And so if you live in Edmond and you were thinking about absentee ballot, today's the last day. But that doesn't mean anything if you don't want to. You still can vote early in person and vote in person the day of House District 39. Now, if you don't live in Edmond and House District 39 isn't one that you can participate, but you care about because we need to add Democrats to the House, you likely have a school board race or a city council race on your ballot. And if you're not sure, you can go out to the Oklahoma State Election Board, click on the voter portal, and it will tell you if you have an election coming up. We just got to pay attention every time we can. Other things we need to be paying attention to tonight at the Spring Lake MetroTech, which is on Spring Lake Drive, right off of MLK, intersection Spring Lake and MLK. There is going to be the city of Del City is having a forum talking about the potential new site for the jail in Midwest City. So if you have real feelings about that, this is a good place for you to go and hear what the plans are and voice your concern with city officials. And that's what we have to do. Not enough people recognize that it is our responsibility to work with our elected officials and make them hear our voice. So tonight at 6 p.m. at the Spring Lake MetroTech, if you're concerned about the site of the new jail, and the site I'm talking about is the one they're talking about in Del City, show up there and let them hear your voice. Also tonight, in Midwest City at the Midwest City Library, the Midwest City Chamber of Commerce is going to have a forum with all of the candidates who are running for city council. It's races, it seats 2, 4, 6, and 3 that are all going to be on the ballot on February 13th. The chamber is having a come and meet the candidates forum. Again, another place for you to engage with people who want your vote, people who want to set the direction for your community. And this is your chance to tell them what you want. I mean, just that simple. We have to pay attention and we have to stay engaged. Let me remind you of what not being engaged gets you. What not being engaged got us is Governor Kevin Stitt, who I have to tell you that every single time I had my TV on, he was on TV, on the news. And it wasn't for good stuff. He was on the TV trying to rework his treasonous language of last week, but actually still doubling down on, I'm going to unite with all these other governors and fight the federal government. Don't understand how he doesn't see that that's actually threatening civil war, but okay, I guess he thinks if a bunch of us do it, it's not civil war, but no, that's exactly what it is. So he's doubling down on that. He's pretending like he didn't say anything about not feeding kids. He's acting like he has no idea what's going on in our state with regards of mismanagement of funds. He's just trying to be on TV, even if it has to be from his car. It's shameful, but that's what happens when we don't pay attention. Also, we get a senator who is just going to be there until he decides not to be there, or until we run a candidate and support a candidate against him. But we missed that boat in the last cycle, so he's there for another 6 years. Senator James Lankford. Now, brace yourself. Today is January 29th. I'm about to say some words I didn't know that I'd ever say. I am somewhat proud of Senator James Lankford for standing up and working towards some sort of solution regarding the southern border. He drives me bananas because he's always at the southern border taking pictures. He drives me bananas because when our state is falling apart and things are happening, all he wants to talk about is abortion and the borders. But in this instance, he is actually doing the work that he was elected to do. He is working in his capacity as a senator and apparently across the aisle, trying to come up with a real solution for the thing that he keeps saying he cares about. Now, I think y'all know he drives me bananas. However, I have to give him his due. If this is the thing that he's always talking about, and y'all know that it is, my complaint has always been, if this is a thing you care about, do something about it. Well, in this instance, the senator is working to do something about it. That's right. It's January 29th. It's 4/29. This is me saying something positive about Senator James Lankford, the Republican. And now I say that because if it's something that bothers you, do something about it. He's trying to do something. The bill hasn't made it to the floor. The bill hasn't, but he's working on it. And because he's working on it, which I give him more props for, he's standing firm. I mean, he's shaking it a little bit, but he hasn't backed away. He's standing firm, trying to work towards a deal. And so national Republicans are attacking him. And the Oklahoma Republican Party had a meeting this weekend where they vowed to not support him because he was working on a solution. I'm proud that he is actually working towards a solution. I don't know if he's going to make it past his party. I don't know how that's going to work out. I don't even know if this bill that he's working on will ever make it to the floor. But this is me going on record saying thank you, Senator Lankford, for putting your efforts where your mouth is. Whew. Now, I hope y'all wrote that down because I don't know when the next time I'm going to have something positive to say about that man. But I try to be a person who recognizes when someone does something positive. And we all know, because we all have TVs and radios and the newspaper, that the Republicans are trying really hard not to solve the crisis at the border. And we are in one of those cycles where it's bad. They don't want to solve it because they want to use it to beat President Biden up with. If President Biden keeps doing positive things, oh my goodness, he might get reelected. And what they don't want to help that happen. And don't even get me started because we do not have all day to talk about the guy that they're supporting. Off of that news, Ryan Walters, another one of my favorite topics. Whew. Ryan Walters, I think he's famous for not doing his job. He's famous for not putting up controls, for not following through and making sure that whatever proclamation he says can happen. And, we heard last week that they gave sign-on bonuses to some teachers who weren't eligible. They gave $50,000 in taxpayer dollars to people who weren't eligible based on a plan that they just pulled out of nowhere. But they gave it to these people through an error because they did not set up checks and balances. They gave it to these people back in November. And then in January, they sent them a letter saying, oh, no, you need to pay all that back. You got to pay it back by February. All because they weren't minding the store. And so now he wants to come back. Now he wants to come back and say, well, I mean, they should have never taken it. Here's what I say to that, and be clear. I don't know any of these teachers personally, has nothing to do with my life, but here's the reality. They filled out the paperwork. They said, you know, they had their job history right there on the application. And if we had checks and balances in place, they would have never gotten the money. That's on us. More taxpayer dollars misused because the superintendent of public instruction doesn't have any concept of how to be a good steward of the tax dollars that are entrusted to him. I hope that in this is me speaking, I hope that in this legislative session, that our state legislators grow a spine and do what's right and impeach him. I'm on the record saying he needs to be impeached. He is derelict in the duties that he's been elected to carry out. And he's not even trying to do the duties that he was elected to carry out. And why don't we, I don't know, I just want to see if we can get somebody in there who wants to do the job. There's more, but I want to stay positive. Today was a beautiful day in January. The weather was wonderful. And I have a birthday coming this week. And I only mention it. I do like when people tell me happy birthday, but more importantly, I am using my birthday as an excuse to do a fundraiser for the Oklahoma Democratic Party. We are having a statewide trivia night. Statewide. Don't care where you live. Join us. If you're in the Oklahoma City area or feel like coming to Oklahoma City, we will be at Elmer's on Lincoln, 39th and Lincoln. It'll be a good time. But if you don't want to make the drive and you can't make it, I would love to see faces on Zoom from Northeast, Southeast, Northwest, Southwest Oklahoma, Central Oklahoma, even people who live in Oklahoma City who don't feel like driving over there. I'd love to see you guys on the Zoom participating in the trivia night. It's going to be fun. I've seen a lot of the questions. And it's really just an opportunity to raise money for the party because we have elections. But it's also an opportunity for Democrats to fellowship and have a good time. That's this Thursday, 6 p.m. Go out to okdemocrats.org/trivia night and register. And here's the thing. If you don't have 5 friends who are brave enough to be in trivia, sign up for yourself and we'll put you with a team. We'll match you up with the team so that you can participate. It's going to be a fun night. I hope you can join us. But in the meantime, I'll be back here tomorrow at 4:15.